welcome to the Lucky Paper Twitch stream, if you're watching it live, and if you're not, YouTube channel, where we are playing one of my favorite cubes in our whole play group, Daniel's Reading Rainbow Cube. I'm over here off screen doing the production. I'm not just a disembodied voice. Daniel, why don't you explain to people what the deal with this cube is?
Oh my gosh, I love this cube.
It's yours.
This is the Reading Rainbow Cube. It is a all gold cube. There are no hybrid cards. There are no monocolor cards. There are no colorless artifact cards. It is all gold all the time.
What about lands that tap for just 2 colors?
Nope. It doesn't happen.
Well,
no.
you do have lands that tap for 2 colors, but they have to have a gold frame.
They have to have a gold border. The thriving cycle was really a boon to my cube because it allowed me to put dual color lands in here that I couldn't otherwise have. But up until then, no guild gates, no tap lands, no fetches, no shocks, nothing like you would sort of see in a normal cube. Because it doesn't fit the criteria of being a gold border. The reason it's called the Reading Rainbow is because most of these cards are draft cards that you saw once 20 years ago or 10 years ago in Alara and have never really looked at again since. So it takes a couple of read-throughs to figure out what the shtick is and what that card's purpose in this cube is. And I really like that. I like being able to introduce people to cards that they haven't seen in a long time or they have never really fully read through because they're more interested in getting a monocolor deck that they can reliably play all the time.
You know, I've been trying to do a better job at reading my cards, and specifically on stream, like before the games, I'm going to read every card in my deck, and I tried to do that during the last round. Didn't finish. Couldn't get through it.
A lot of words.
It's a lot of words, so I'm gonna make some mistakes on some cards.
Now, you've missed a key thing, Daniel. How are we supposed to cast all of these gold spells?
So the idea came to me that if we are doing indeed all gold cards, we should have a land that supports the ability to do that. So the card that I chose for everyone to start each game with is the Pillar of the Parents, and it says, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool, spend that only to cast a multicolor spell. So what this ultimately means is that your 2-drops become 1-drops, your 3-drops become 2-drops, and so on. So you really actually get the ability to play Magic a little bit faster than you would if you were just doing a 2 or more cube setup.
All right, Anthony, why don't you give us a little tour of your deck, which I see you're calling Red Green Ramp.
I'm calling it a red-green ramp deck. So I don't think that my draft went great, to be honest. I kind of wanted to draft a red-green aggro deck, but turns out a lot of other people are trying to do the same thing. It's really difficult to draft, to read signals in this cube. And we did draft this with a full pot of 8 virtually and then assembled the decks. So what my plan is, it turns out, is I have a fair amount of ramp. It's like not super focused. I'm also just going to do some mid-rangey stuff, but I do have stuff like the Anarchomancer, Draconic Disciple, and Growth Spiral, and a couple mid-rangier ramp stuff, and then I'm hopefully just going to cast one of these big giant things. That's my plan. You'll notice again that I've got like all kinds of weird colors going on in here, but because everything is gold, you're kind of just having to stretch to make it work, but we do have that Pillar of the Bronze, which means any pip that is one off from my base red or green means I can still play it. It does mean it's difficult to double spell sometimes, but that's why I'm kind of feeling okay about being a little bit more mid-rangey here, because I'm only putting forests and mountains in my deck otherwise, apart from a couple of fixing lands.
Poser. Daniel, what are you playing?
So I have constructed trying to do a hasty aggro deck that really focuses on like French vanilla keywords. A lot of trample, a lot of haste, a lot of first or double strike, some death touch in here. And the hope is to be able
Death touch, classic aggro keyword.
Yeah, I know, right? Well, it is when it's stapled to a first striker.
I would argue it's still a better blocker than an attacker. Possibly. That's just a 4-mana 2/2 can't be blocked. That's fine. Whatever. Sorry to interrupt.
No. Hey, listen.
Sorry to interrupt and absolutely drag you.
Drag him.
Drag him. So the big playing cards in here are Fervent Charge, Mardu Ascendancy, Rhythm of the Wild, really things that will get me out and running faster. I've got a Mad Rush Cyclops and a Path of Metal to sort of clear the way of any tokens that I might be coming up against as blockers.
That didn't work so well in the last round.
I drew none of those
making
things.
A lot of tokens.
I'm in a spicy mood tonight, people. How are y'all going to decide who gets to go first?
High roll?
High roll indeed.
6.
It's a sufficiently high roll, but not as good as that one.
That's an 11. The other dice is off screen.
Will you take the play?
I'm going to take the play.
It's time again for golf-style cube coverage. Here we see them shuffling. You can tell neither
Magic
of them are
players and
competitive
their natural-
grinders because they're looking at their deck when they're shuffling, which, if you're a competitive grinder, you know you can't do. You have to look the other way and shuffle to the side.
Unless
That's what everyone always
You're trying to
does.
cheat.
Unless you're trying to cheat, it's true. We have a request in chat for future high rolls to roll them at the same time, simultaneously, instead of the same pair of dice, which I think does add a little bit of excitement.
Interesting, really?
Yeah, I don't know.
Oh, right. We have to.
All right, let's check this out.
You're on the play, Daniel.
We going to pray and play.
Show us that hand, good boy. All right, you can pitch that one back without putting it on the
Yeah.
table.
Yeah. We're
Well,
not going to.
All right,
gonna
well,
even
that makes me feel
tempt
a little
fate
bit
with that
better.
one.
This hand is not great, but I think specifically starting with this means I will be able to stretch the game out a little bit, so I feel okay about it, and hopefully we'll draw some more cheap spells to play.
Daniel down to 6. The mulligan rule, of course, is that you still draw a hand of full 7 cards, and once you've decided to keep, then you're going to put a card on bottom for each time you've mulliganed. Here we see Daniel's second hand. Flop it on the table. Bad boy.
So it is not much better.
Just read my cards while we're looking at your hand.
So I've got 2 potential things that I could do. These I'm just not going to even worry about right now. I think if I'm able to get to my next one, I should be all right. So we're going to
A bold play from Daniel.
pitch that.
Gambling, this will work out for him. He doesn't want to mold a 5 and start at a huge resource disadvantage. And now we see our players underway.
It's a mountain. Unbelievable.
It's
Swift Blade Vindicator.
Yep.
That one I don't have to read because I have it in my cube.
Hi.
I know exactly the keywords
There
it
we
has.
go.
Love to know the keywords and
Double
rules
strike.
of all the cards in my
It's
own
just
cube.
got double strike and what? Vigilance and trample? Is that right?
Double strike, vigilance,
great.
and trample.
I will go ahead and
It's a lowly 1/1.
draw a card. I'm going to play a mountain as well and ship the turn back to you.
James has requested a WWE announcer voice. Fun fact, James, I have not watched a single match of professional wrestling in my entire life. Not once.
Have you watched unprofessional wrestling?
I mean, I watched some of my friends
I feel like
wrestle.
all
Does that count?
professional wrestling is unprofessional wrestling.
Thanks for the follow, GVN42. Oh, Julia Childs? That's Anthony's job to do the Julia Childs voice.
Oh, yeah. I'm not saying I like to do it. I'm not saying I'm good at it.
It'll come up
It'll
eventually,
happen.
you know.
Gonna play Tajik.
Tajik. Yeah.
It's got
This
pretty good.
is a combo.
Mentor.
Holy
This is
moly.
This
Wild.
is straight out of 2018 Magic.
Does this give
swing
you a
to
counter
combat.
as well?
Gives me a 1/1 counter on the Vindicator.
Well, I will not block.
All right,
How
take
much am I
7.
taking 7?
Oh,
Going to 13.
Daddy, that's a lot of damage.
All right, and I'll pass the turn.
All right, cards in hand.
3.
That's my saving
A
grace
sad
right
face.
there. Let's go ahead and play a forest and then pay 3 for reading my card. Reading your cards, let's cast Deafening Clarion to deal 3 damage to each creature.
Are you sure you read his cards?
Have I? Oh, no.
Oh,
I
yes!
haven't read your
You
cards.
literally said read your cards.
Oh, there's too much to read.
You
I was looking at
literally-
the, I was reading the power and
Literally
Oh,
said read your
boy.
cards.
All right,
Oh,
well,
boy.
I guess I just concede.
Well, dang. I lose
Sego.
my Vindicator. What a sad state of affairs.
Well, no, he doesn't.
No. You don't.
Dealt to other creatures, so it kills
It does
Tajik.
kill Tajik.
It
It
does
doesn't
kill
kill the
Tajik. It does
Vindicator.
not kill the Vindicator.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
I think that's still the right play, to be honest. Yeah, I didn't read the cards. When I said read the cards, I meant look at the toughness.
I see.
I guess I'll actually read your cards.
Play a mountain.
Yeah.
And I'll tap 4 for a Blazing Spectre.
Oh no. That one's also in my cube.
Would you like me to tell you what that does?
Yeah, I'll read it.
All right, very good. Flying haste when it
Combat damage to the
deals
player,
combat
they
damage.
discard a card.
And I'm going to see what card you're going to discard because I'm going to attack you
Yep,
for 6.
I'll take 6, go to 7, trigger.
This is quite a start, Daniel. I agree, True Medium. It's not Anthony's fault. It is the cards that are wrong.
It is the cards that are wrong.
The cards that are wrong.
I will discard Godsire.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. I'll untap. Draw a card.
That Deafening Clarion is going to be good against me. I don't have Digig in my deck.
So this guy's going to hit me for 4 again. That's really pretty... It's not great for me. I'll play a forest. Then I'll pay 4. I will cast... Ooh. What could you actually have? Do I want to do this now? I will pass the turn.
Oh, my.
Oh, my.
Anthony
Tap your
seems
lands,
to be
untap your
representing
lands.
something
That's
over
legal.
there.
You're allowed to tap your lands and untap your lands. Right, Judge?
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now it's Daniel's cube. Does he know what Anthony could potentially have up?
Let's see what he's got, people.
Let's find out.
Combat.
You can't live in fear.
Go to first strike damage.
First strike damage happens.
All right, I'll
take 2.
2. I'll pay 4. I will hurl your Blazing Spectre through hell.
It's been hurled.
And then take 2 more.
Yep.
What
Go to 3.
do Hurl Through Hell do?
I can cast it. Sorry, it exiles the creature, and then until the end of my next turn, I might cast that card. And I might spend mana as though it were mana of any color to cast it.
Cool.
Yeah. So where would you like it exiled to?
Let's just put it right here.
Just
'cause
put it
it's
over
going to be here
over
for
there.
a moment.
Okay. Yeah. No, pass.
All right. I will untap. I can cast this turn. I will draw a card. So that is lethal. So if I play this, it's got Flying Haste, and then I'm just going to die. So we're not going to do that. Instead, I'm going to play a mountain, pay 5, cast Ulrich.
Ooh.
When it enters the battlefield or transforms, target creature gets +4/+4. And at the beginning of my upkeep, if no spells were cast, I transform it. And I will pass the turn. This will remain exiled.
Exiled forever. Till the next game. All right. Came here to play Unfun Magic.
Oof.
For you,
Yeah.
I have a 4/4.
Can I see your hand, Daniel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead. You're playing Magic.
I'm playing
Don't
Magic.
That's
Come
fine.
on.
Don't show me the hand.
Attack you for 8.
All right, gotta read this card. Whenever a creature you control attacks, it gets +2/+2 until end of turn.
So it's
this is
now
going
a
to be
4/4
huge.
double strike vigilant trample.
All right, I will block it.
All right. First strike damage, and then second strike damage.
I die. It's got trample, right?
It does, yeah.
Great. All right, well, that was rough. I'm sorry about not reading the cards.
Oh, it's fine. I think it made for a great moment.
Great.
You asked to see my hand. Why did you think that I should play the other cards instead?
I think the other card that also said win the game on it was a little more safe.
Why?
I mean, I guess he's tapped out. There's no free spells in this cube, so either one wins the game, so it doesn't really matter what you do.
Yeah. I would always choose to play the fun spell versus the removal spell.
That is what you do. That is what you do.
Let's see. Is there a sideboard?
Any sideboard options over there for you, Anthony? That was a real walloping. It's a pretty cracked draw from Daniel there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'm not going to say he did or didn't keep a one-land hand, but
He did.
maybe he did or didn't. I don't
100%
know.
kept a one-land hand. in instead.
Here we see our players deep in the tank, considering swapping cards in their deck for other cards to better their chances of winning. Anthony's got a lot of cards on the table in front of him, perhaps considering a dramatic change.
So
A dramatic reversal, perhaps.
Daniel, you're not supposed to be able to hear me. I'm the announcer.
Oh,
we got
sorry.
a couple options
Oh,
of
Lord.
stuff.
You're the
we
goldfish in
could
the
do.
tank, sir.
We could trim on just some of the big stuff. Like, basically, I think I'm just going to get beat down here, and I just want to actually be able to get in the game, get something big on the table, and then start generating some card advantage or a way to kill Daniel. So I could trim down on some of the big stuff so I can actually stay alive to cast some of the other big stuff. I could also cast or cut some of the, like, mid-rangey stuff or the medium ramp. I don't know how useful this actually is as a blocker. Stuff I could bring in is removal for that enchantment that was rough, which also just doubles as mana fixing. Although I don't know if I can afford to just be spending 2 mana. I could also bring in just more.
And remember, you can't spend your whatchamacallit,
That's
your
true.
pillar on
Yeah,
that
I'm actually,
on that
you know what,
ability.
that's a really good reason not to do it, just because it removes a potential mistake that I could make to embarrass myself. How good is a 2/5 against your deck? I don't know. It'd probably be okay. A 5/5 for 4 is probably better than. Maybe this is the swap I make. Take one of the more fragile ramp cards for another big thing. I think I feel good about that.
So one swap at the end of the day?
One swap at the
All
end
right.
of the day. Out. In.
Daniel,
These were still out.
any sideboard for you?
Yeah, I didn't see much in the way of artifacts or enchantments or planeswalkers.
Or spells?
So I took out Fracture. I just feel like it's not gonna do anything for me. It's gonna just be a dead card in my hand for most of these matches. And I put in the Macabre Mockery because I have a feeling that the graveyard is gonna have more things in it this game than it did.
All right. A sound strategy.
I'll be on the play.
Our players resume shuffling.
So embarrassed.
For why?
I also love to play a spell on turn 1, James. I also think removal is very good here.
You would be very surprised at the kinds of removal that exist in multicolor.
I
Right.
wouldn't. I play this cube quite a bit.
Well, but what?
Who's you in this sentence?
I have flesh and blood in my deck, Daniel.
You have to get creative with some of the typical archetypes that you would otherwise find here, right? The artifact deck, which is I think one of my favorite decks in the cube, it has remarkably few actual artifacts that would be impactful.
That makes sense. I mean, colored artifacts are a
Relatively
new
new, yeah.
thing, and multicolored artifacts.
So until maybe 2 or 3 years ago, really the only multicolored artifacts that we had were all from Esper. So you were kind of trapped there, and that was the only kind of deck that you could make. And recently they've branched out more and having other multicolored artifacts. The other thing that you almost never see is actual land ramp in a gold card. You've got Frenzied Tilling, which I think that's the one. They're both like Gruul cards. One is a domain card that allows you to find a basic land that deals damage based on your domain, and the other one is a land spell that allows you to find a basic land and then destroy another land. But I hated that because
you can't have land destruction.
You can't
in this
have
cube.
land destruction in here.
Hey, BA Unicorn, this is in fact Daniel's cube. See, Daniel, this is why we do the overview every match, because
yeah.
every once in a while someone new pops
folks
in.
coming in. Dinner's done. It's time to watch them.
It is interesting you mentioned that. Like, there is so much ramp in mono green. You would expect there to be more gold cards that also ramp, but yeah, thinking about it, you get some like occasional gold mana dorks. You get like the growth spirals of the world, I suppose, which is a sort of ramp. But let's see that hand, big boy.
All right, so this hand is obviously pretty risky because of the situation, but we do start with this in play, and I have a pretty good curve of accelerating my resources, so I'm going to risk it.
Risk it for the biscuit.
All right, this is a pretty awesome hand to start with.
Can you get that +1/+1 counter out of there, Daniel?
Yeah. It's not going to be relevant
Thank
for
you.
at least 2 turns.
Wow. Called
So
shot.
I got something early. I got some mid support for it, and I got something late. So I think this is pretty great.
All right. Are you ready?
I am ready.
I'm going to start with a mountain.
Yeah, be a
And
unicorn.
Pay 2, cast a Black Market Tycoon. This makes a treasure. Pass.
Yeah, Daniel only has gold cards in his cube, so no signets, no clue stones, no artifacts unless they are gold artifacts.
Swiftblade.
I feel bad about this game.
Yeah, go for it.
Untap. I'll draw this card right here. I will make a treasure and then sacrifice the treasure and tap.
Does that deal
2.
damage to you, the number of treasures you have? But on upkeep, when does it deal
upkeep,
damage to you?
So at the beginning of my upkeep, it does 2 damage to you for each treasure you control.
Okay,
it's
so
basically
it
just an
punishes you
antidote,
for building them up.
or you can build
Yeah.
up, but then you take a hit. I'll play a Knotvine Mystic, which for 1 makes Naya mana, and I'll pass the turn.
Here's a fun little piece of trivia, chat. Daniel used to have Progenitus in this cube, and I was like, Daniel, this card is not good here. People cannot cast Progenitus. I know they start with the Pillar of Parents in play, but this mana cost is still too insane. There's no way to cheat it out. And then that same day I was having this conversation with him, Daniel proceeded to use a Knotvine Mystic to cast Progenitus against me. So
It was really wonderful.
that's me eating all of my feet. Yum, yum, yum.
And then having been able to do that and seeing that it could be done, that's when I took Progenitus out. So
I mean, you've already done it.
I did the deed.
You've already made me look positively foolish.
All right. I'm going to move to combat.
You're in combat.
Swing in.
No blocks.
Tap 3.
Okay.
Jun Charm.
What does
Put
that do?
2 +1/+1 counters on target creature.
I don't like this.
Take 6. Go to 14.
6, yeah.
And pass.
Sorry, I'm just going to read my cards and think about what you're doing to me. All right, I will untap. Draw a card for turn. Oh, deck. That's just rude.
I agree, True Medium. There's a very clear aesthetic to this deck, given that Daniel has committed so hard to making everything gold.
So I can make...
True Medium, actually, there is a reason why. As you play a lot of gold cards, your eyes actually just start to get, like, weary from all of that. So the reason... I mean, it's true.
Is this science, Daniel?
You just get tired
I'm going to
of it.
need a peer-reviewed paper
all right,
before we're going to be
I
spreading
will-
this nonsense on our channel.
I'll find a scientist to back me up. But having a full art and also something that is like very clearly the color that it is, it makes it really helpful to sort of really quickly distinguish what kind of mana base you have as you're looking at your hand. So that was actually really intentional for me to like choose specifically the Theros lands as my lands here.
Okay, so I'm going to tap this and then use that to activate my Knotvine Mystic to make Naya mana, and then pay 1 more and cast Huntsmaster of the Fells.
Mm-hmm.
Wolf.
Enter the battlefield,
wolf,
make a wolf,
wolf.
and I will also importantly gain 2 life.
Mbop 1, hybrid cards are not considered gold by Daniel's measure.
They are not. No, the borders are not gold, so they are not gold.
I will go to 16, and I will say go.
Oh, people forgot to tell me I messed up. I didn't put the game indicator here. Daniel's up a game.
I'm turning this dog into a wolf.
Okay. Wolf dog.
Wolf dog.
All right. I'm going to have to read my own card for a second.
Okay.
Please.
That one
Take
does
me
have a
1
lot of
second,
text
yeah.
on it.
There's
That's
so
one of the
much- so much
OG lots of
text.
text cards.
Did I do it right?
Okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Excellent.
Okay. Draw my card. Cards in hand.
Oh, I got plenty. Don't
Love
worry
that
about
question.
I got 5.
Okay.
Got a blazing spectre me.
Mind twist.
That's the thought. Let's see here.
Anthony, wolves don't have floppy ears. That only happens when you domesticate them and turn them
Oh,
into
wow.
dogs. So,
This is a good wolf.
okay.
Don't worry about it.
A good wolf.
Okie dokie.
All right. I'm gonna
Thanks to True Medium for
move
that.
to
in the
combat.
chat.
Yeah.
Swinging
Attack me
for
for
6.
6. No blocks.
Wow. Have a good time with that.
Go to 10.
All right. And then I will
Daniel, you sassy.
tap 4 for Terminal Agony to destroy target creature. The Not Vine Mystic.
Ooh, Daniel going for Anthony's resources, seeing that he's missed 2 land drops in a row.
Yep. Destroys
Ignoring
Destroy.
the Huntmaster of the Fells.
Well, so I cast a spell this turn, so that means that it can't flip. And so the only way that he'll be able to flip is if indeed he does not do anything next turn. So either way, I'm up.
But if it flips, it's really bad for you, right?
No, what? I got this.
Anything else?
No, go for it. Have a good time.
Do I not know what that card does on the back?
I don't know.
I thought when it flipped, it would just punch out your Swiftblade Vindicator.
That would be stellar. I think you might be right. Deals 2 damage to target opponent, 2 damage to up to 1 target creature.
Just 2 damage.
Controls.
Doesn't do it. Daniel knows better.
So, the plan might have been to take 2 by double treasuring here and then being able to do something next turn. Now I'm going to have only 3 mana. Does it make a difference if I have 4 mana?
This treasure card is pretty sick, honestly.
It is pretty cool. I think my plan might just be to do nothing next turn and flip Hunt's Master because it also gains me 2 life. So let's do that.
I thought it only gained life when it flipped back, which is when you double spell.
If
Just to clarify.
transforms.
You want to look at the other side.
Transforms back into this. God
Correct.
damn it, these cards. There's
I know.
so much text.
That's why I'm helping.
Thank you for your help. So it just makes a 4/4 and then deals. I mean, a 4/4 is still relevant, so that's still going to be my plan. So I'm going to untap. I'm going to draw a card.
Is it a land?
I will play
Ha!
a
You made it.
mountain. Okay, but now that I have a mountain.
Oh, my word.
Wish you had made double
1, 2,
treasure,
3,
don't you?
4, 5. I could have had 5.
I think flipping it back is going to be kind of hard. Double spelling is hard here for either player. Though Anthony has the treasures. I really like the cards that make treasures in this cube.
I do too. I had Jolene in here for a little bit, but she was oppressive.
Rough.
Yeah.
She was not fun to play against.
I thought it would be fun to just have something that made treasures and had 1/1 counters on it, and turns out it was busted. So she did not make it to the next round after she was.
Oh man, it's a 3/3 double strike, so I can't even.
You want to attack?
I can't even do a fun attack. All right, I will go to my end step.
Sure.
This triggers an end step, right?
No.
The beginning of each upkeep. All right, doesn't
All right.
pass the turn. Upkeep.
Upkeep. Trigger.
My wolf.
It's nighttime, baby. Full moon.
It's a 4/4.
It's a 4/4. Enters or transforms into this. It'll deal 2 damage to target opponent. That's you.
Take 2.
It's also very relevant that it
and
deals
2
damage now.
Yeah, it is going to
and
deal
not
2
on end
damage to
step.
your creature. Great.
Cool.
Fun.
Good.
Continue. To the draw step and beyond. What are you going to do now?
Oh my gosh.
You going to kill me?
No. Fervent Charge.
Okay.
I will move to combat.
You're in combat.
Makes this a 5/5 double strike.
Hmm.
And I will attack in.
Oof. 5/5 double strike.
With 2 damage on it.
With 2 damage on
2 damage
it.
on it.
But because it's got 5, I could throw my whole board into it. And then what does that accomplish? You would kill either this or both of these. And then I would trade. So I'd be trading my whole board for your thing. It feels pretty bad. But I'm just chump blocking in order to not take lethal otherwise.
Oinkadator, I really respect the fierce restriction of no shuffling, no tokens, no counters, no double face cards. I think it's a really clean way to play.
Here's a question. I make a copy of this creature, which it's also wild to look at this card. It's not legendary, right? I keep looking at it being like, this card's legendary.
No.
Because
No.
they only make legendary creatures anymore with this much text.
Also, if they had made it a legendary creature, we wouldn't have needed Ulrich, which is a boring
true.
werewolf commander for a long time.
But this is also different from the new werewolves. If I make a copy of this, it enters as this one or enters as the front face?
Do we have a judge in chat or someone willing to look up the rulings on Huntmaster of the Fells? Because it's very hard to do all three things at once. I'm pretty sure you make a copy of the back face, and if it would transform, it just doesn't? The question, Zenith, is if Anthony was to clone his flipped Huntmaster of the Fells, what would he get? And then what would happen later?
All right, you know what? Let's not make that an issue.
Yeah.
Let's just
Okay.
take this plan. Let's block with the team.
Okay.
Yeah, I was right, Anthony. You do get a Ravager, and it cannot transform if you
Cool.
copy it.
Cool. I will make a treasure.
Okay. I'll just
Trades.
eat them all up.
All right, great. Yum, yum, yum.
Did you absorb all 10 damage?
I believe 4, 5, 6. Oh, no, sorry. It's only 8. So, yeah, I'll go to 8.
All right. I think that was a good spend of 4 mana. And I'll pass.
All right, I will untap, upkeep, draw. Really regret keeping that hand, too.
It's got 2 damage on it, James. Vindicator is not alive.
All right, I will spend 4 mana and cast.
The Ravager was a
Also-
4/4, though. I think Vindicator might be alive.
Really?
I don't think so.
Well, because
So-
first strike damage is dealt, so he killed
Oh, right. He can
what
kill
with
the-
first strike damage?
No, but here's the thing. Like, so
With 2
I
damage on it, it's still dead.
Yeah,
I'm a
it's 2 damage,
it's a
it's still dead.
5/5 creature. I have 2 damage on it
Right.
already.
So you kill
I
either
kill,
the 2/2s or the 4/4.
and then the
if
other
if it
4
didn't have
will
2 damage on
kill
it, then
Yeah.
it would just eat up everything.
Yeah.
All right. James made me question us.
Ugh,
How dare you,
the
James?
nerve.
All right, I will cast Rulik Mons
Okay.
and sacrifice my treasure. It's a 3/3 with menace, and whenever it attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land card, put it into the battlefield tapped. Otherwise, you make a 1/1 goblin. Pass.
Okay. I will tap 4.
Linkinator, I will come back there. I will pull this car over. Watch
Blazing
it.
Spectre.
Blazing Spectre.
Okay.
Moving to combat.
Yep.
I'll attack you for 4 in the
Take 4,
air.
Go to 4. And
What shall you pitch?
I'm going to pitch a Growth Spiral, which I can't cast.
Mm.
That's a rude draw.
Pass.
Untap. Draw. Read all my cards. This does a thing but doesn't kill a flyer. This does a thing but doesn't kill a flyer.
I would recommend
I've read
killing a flyer.
my cards. Can I sequence this in any other way? I don't think so. Does this have other effects? No. I guess, what, I know information? Attacks, look at the top card of your library. If it's a land, you may put it in the battlefield. So I could potentially sequence things. No, I can't really, but let's go to combat. Let's attack
Sure.
for 3. So trigger, I'm going to look at this, and it's not a land. So I will make a goblin. I don't actually have to tell you if it's not a land. I'm just choosing not to put it into play.
Yeah.
I found a goblin. Then I will pay 2, cast Arnie Slays the Troll.
Ooh.
I will have my...
You hold
3
on. So you've dealt 3 damage to me.
yes.
Right. Okay. Wait, I forgot to do that.
I will have my goblin fight your specter.
Okay.
And pass the turn.
Okay.
A big turnaround this turn from Anthony. Will he be able to stabilize?
Tap 3 for Tajik.
Does that have haste?
Yeah, it does.
Yikes. Does that have trample?
No.
Okay, cool.
I will attack you for 5.
I will block.
Sure. Pass.
I will untap, draw this card, trigger. I will make a red mana. Gonna remember that. And put 2 1 counters on a creature I control.
That's big boy.
I have created a big boy. So I prevent all non-combat damage to other creatures?
To other creatures,
To
not
other
it.
creatures.
Yeah. Right now, it is just a 3/2 with Mentor.
So here's a question. If I attack, I always have the option to just not reveal it and make a 1/1. But is it worth just having a 1/1 or having a big blocker? Let's read the ability number 6 on this card. Gains first strike until end of turn. It's currently a 3/2, but it will attack as a huge thing. So maybe just making a 1/1 is the right thing to do. Feels a little bit risky. All right, but I have a red mana in my mana pool, so let's make sure to use that before I die. Let's go ahead and cast a Soltari Gorillas. 3/2 is Shadow, and if it would deal combat damage to you, I can redirect that to one of your creatures, which is pretty cool. Then I'll go to combat. I will attack you with Rulik, and I will not show you this card, which means I will make a Goblin. And you've got a 5/5 coming at you.
I'll take the 5.
All right, and I will say go.
Okay. Playing a swamp. I will move to combat.
You're in combat.
I'll swing at you for 5.
Block with a Gobbo.
Okay, that seems
Okay.
like a great way to go.
I was dead to removal spell there, but I was attacking or not, so.
Oh, you were. Shoot. All right.
I was also wondering what you were doing, but I never know.
All right, I'll pass the turn.
Okay, excellent.
Shadow, can't block.
In your upkeep.
Yep.
I'm going to tap 3 for Delirium.
What
You
does that do?
sicko.
Play
You sick man.
I had to wait for your turn to play this. Tap target creature that player controls. That creature deals to the player an amount of damage equal to its power.
And
he has a removal spell in hand and chooses to win this
Which
way.
are you choosing?
What a sick man.
Choose your goblin.
Okay. I will take 5. Oof. Rude. Yeah, this cube is really hard to play on stream. There's so much text on these cards. I'm exhausted.
You did good, Anthony.
Thank
It's
you.
hard.
Yeah.
So what I was really excited about was I had Huntsmaster of the Fells, and I had Cabaret Confluence in my hand. So what I was hoping I was going to be able to do is make a treasure to bank 1 extra mana to have 6, and then copy the Huntsmaster 3 times.
Whoa.
Gain
That's
6 life.
brutal.
Make a bunch of
Whoa.
wolf tokens.
Yeah.
But then you kill my Knotvine Mystic, which I really should have thought about, like,